At 67, I finally realized something most people never do. Happiness doesn't live in more. It lives in less. Less noise, less rush, less stuff, and fewer expectations. But it took me nearly a lifetime to learn that. For most of my working years, I lived like a racehorse with blinders on. The days were fast and full, measured in deadlines and meetings. I was always chasing something just beyond reach. Promotions, bigger paychecks, newer gadgets, a nicer car. And then, one day it all stopped. Retirement. At first it felt like a dream. No alarm clock, no emails, no traffic. But soon the silence began to feel like emptiness. I had everything I thought I wanted, but I didn't feel full. So I went looking, not for more, but for less. One morning, about 3 months into retirement, I was drinking coffee in the kitchen. The sun was coming in just right, casting this golden glow on the counter. My wife was out visiting her sister, and the house was perfectly still. And for the first time in years, I really looked around. There were drawers full of things we'd never used, a garage packed with boxes I hadn't opened in a decade, books I never finished, clothes I hadn't worn since the early 2000s. And suddenly I thought, why do I have so much, but still feel so lost? It wasn't sadness, it was something quieter, a kind of emotional clutter. So I began clearing. I started small, one drawer, then one shelf, then the closet. For every item I asked myself, does this add peace to my life, or does it add noise? Old paperwork? Gone. Extra kitchen gadgets? Given away. Books I never connected with? Donated. I wasn't trying to become a minimalist. I was just trying to breathe. And every space I cleared felt like a weight off my chest. But something else happened too. As I cleared physical clutter, my mental clutter started to fade. I was no longer haunted by the feeling that I had to do something every minute of the day. I could just be. Before, I used to see chores as a waste of time. Folding laundry? Tedious. Washing dishes? Boring. Walking without my phone? Impossible. But with fewer things and fewer obligations, these tasks became rituals. I folded clothes slowly, noticing the texture, the warmth. I washed dishes while listening to birds sing outside the window. I walked with my hands in my pockets, watching clouds roll by. These weren't chores anymore. They were meditations. I also began building small daily habits that grounded me. Waking up early, not with an alarm but with sunlight. Stretching for 10 minutes before breakfast. Brewing tea and enjoying it without distractions. Journaling one positive thought or gratitude each morning. Spending 10 minutes tending to my garden. Reading a chapter from a favorite book before lunch. Taking a short afternoon nap with no guilt. Going for a slow evening walk just to notice the world. Lighting a candle or playing soft music while cooking. Writing down a highlight of the day before bed. These daily habits weren't tasks, they were anchors, each one a small act of returning to the present. In doing less, I was noticing more, and each small act brought a quiet kind of joy. A few weeks into my simplifying journey, I found an old address book in a drawer. Pages yellowed, names I hadn't seen in years. Friends from college, a fishing buddy I lost touch with, a cousin I hadn't spoken to since our grandmother passed. So I called them, not to catch up, just to say hello, to ask how they were. And something amazing happened. They answered. We talked. We laughed. Some cried. We made plans. It felt like returning to myself. You see, simplicity isn't just about things. It's about connection. When your life gets quieter, you can finally hear what matters most. We all have a wish list. Things we want to buy, places we want to go. But one afternoon I sat down and wrote something different. An enough list. I have enough clothes. I have enough books. I have enough food. I have enough space. I have enough memories. I am enough. It wasn't a list of lack, it was a list of abundance, and the more I read it, the lighter I felt. Suddenly I wasn't chasing anymore. I was present, grounded. Slow living isn't laziness. It's deliberate. I started growing herbs in the backyard, cooking from scratch, reading the newspaper fully, not skimming headlines, writing handwritten letters. The days felt longer, but not in a bad way, in a full way. Time no longer rushed me. When we live slowly, we start to feel again. We notice our breath. We notice our partners. We listen, really listen to what others are saying. And we listen to ourselves, too. That inner voice, the one drowned out by decades of noise, it speaks clearly now. I don't need more square footage. I need more peace. I don't need more money. I need more moments. I don't need more things. I need more presence. It's funny, isn't it? We spend our whole lives chasing the dream, and the dream turns out to be the ability to sit quietly and enjoy the morning light. I thought I would miss the hustle, but I don't. I thought I would feel bored, but I feel alive. I thought I would feel lonely, but I feel connected to nature, to people, to myself, and to you listening to this now. At first, retirement felt like falling off a cliff. No alarm clock, no meetings, no deadlines. Just a vast open space of hours stretching endlessly across each day. And with that space came unexpected anxiety. What should I do now? What is the purpose of today? It was in this emptiness that I began to build something new. Not grand, not revolutionary, just small, steady habits that stitched meaning back into my life. Every morning now, I begin with a glass of water. It's the first gift I give my body. Simple, refreshing, essential. This small act sets the tone for my day. I choose care. I choose presence. Then I step outside, barefoot when the grass isn't too cold, and I listen. Birds, the breeze, the rustle of trees. Just a few minutes of quiet before the world rushes in. Breakfast is no longer a rushed affair. I eat slowly, without my phone, without the TV. I taste my food. I chew thoughtfully. It's not just about digestion, it's about gratitude. Every bite reminds me that I have enough. I've made sleep a priority too. Not just more of it, but better. No screens after 8 p.m., a cup of herbal tea, a book in hand, and if I'm lucky, a full 8 hours of deep, healing rest. These habits aren't rules, they're anchors. They keep me grounded. One of the most joyful additions to my day has been returning to hobbies I had forgotten. I started drawing again, something I hadn't done since my 20s. Not to be good at it, but to feel the pencil glide across paper, to let my mind wander. I garden a little, read old novels, and whistle tunes I used to love. And I walk. Oh, how I walk, without a destination, without earbuds, just me, my thoughts, and the rhythm of my steps. The world looks different when you're not in a hurry. You see more. You feel more. These small choices have transformed my life. Not dramatically, but deeply. I didn't need a grand purpose. I just needed to show up again and again for the moments that make up a day. Simple living isn't about less for the sake of less. It's about less for the sake of more. More presence, more peace, more clarity. And it begins always with the habits we choose when no one is watching. Maybe you're 55. Maybe you're 75. Maybe you feel like you've run out of time. I'm here to tell you, you haven't. This next chapter can be the most meaningful of your life, but not by filling it up, by clearing space. Space for peace, for connection, for beauty. Try this. Spend a whole morning without your phone. Write a letter to someone you love. Walk slower than you think you should. Say no to something that drains you. Say yes to silence. Create one simple habit that brings you joy every day. Let go of the idea that your worth is tied to what you produce. You are not your job. You are not your things. You are not your to-do list. You are a human being. So, just be. If this story has touched something in you, I hope you take a small step toward less clutter, less stress, less comparison, and more of what really matters. Because, in the end, when we simplify, we amplify what counts. Love, connection, peace. And that, my friend, is enough. Thank you for spending this time with me. May your days be slower, your heart be lighter, and your life beautifully simpler.